Desa! Go, go, go!
3 minutes, Maft!
Reno! We reach 1 minute!
Where's Yuna?
Ajanuha Hupun? Ajanuha Yemeja!
I said, where is she? Answer me! Answer me, damn you!
Oh, he's picked the worst character to square up against.
I didn't know anything about what a summoner is supposed to do. And I told her all those things without even knowing. I've got to tell her. I've got to tell her I'm sorry.
That's it? You're gonna tell her you're sorry. And then you just drag her to Zanarkand and make her fight Sheen, huh? You're all the same. Let the summoner die so we can live in peace!
No!
Ah, words! Show me action!
I'm telling you, she won't die!
Boy, don't forget those words. 'Cause if you do, I'm gonna make you regret it.
So the rest of this game is just dealing with the moral conundrum of, is this right? Is what we're doing good? Going to sacrifice ourselves to save the world? But only temporarily, because the world's going to be in, a dire situation again when Sin just comes back. Is this worth it? Is it really worth it? When we could be looking for an alternative, if there is one. We don't know if there is one.
Even make it 1,000 years, Ujantia!
Alright, this scene is mind-blowing. This is... I think this contends for the... this contends with the scene at the beginning of the game for just an amazing CG cutscene.
Uy, it's Jack.
Ah? Nitpick? Nitpick!
This is a very Final Fantasy VI moment right here.
This reminds me of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, it's a place that looks Final Fantasy VII-ish, but then the structure in the desert and flying away from it is very Final Fantasy VI.
Vroeg, het van mij!
Echt? Elke dread!
Fredajo, Wicho. E-A-U-E.
Nobo Meno Ren Miri Yochu Yoko Asate Kanae Kutamae.
What's going on?
We're gonna blow up our home. How?
With one of the forbidden Makina.
Hooray for explosives! Let's just throw all of the missiles. God damn, that looks cool. And then you have this explosion, which is just straight up fantastic.
It's like a fireworks display.
Something like that. But then you've got to escape the fireworks because they straight up mushroom cloud. Good God! So much overkill. How would Sin take that? I know Sin is pretty beastly, but that looks way more destructive than those poxy lasers from earlier, from Operation Mi'ihen. I don't think Sin could take 2 or 3 of those. If we got 3 ships like this one and shot him all at the same time, he'd be nuked. he'd be nothing. There'd be nothing left of him. I don't know why they don't consider that.
Wat wundank. Frida kut ipwid makina. Ekto lip up diem daf. Wika.
Yeah, it's alright, we'll just build a new one.
Look, don't get so down. Boom! Like happy festival fireworks, yeah?
Yeah.
You can plan your happy festival.
Oh, it's the best line in the game! Waka, you tactless oaf! Oh, that's amazing! What's that? Everything you know is dead? It's like Fireworks Day! Hooray for the death of Albed! Oh, Waka. I think now is a good time for me to bring up the... I've not been able to bring it up to now because it's so full of spoilers, but if you get a chance, go watch the Super Best Friends Racist Waka montage from their own Final Fantasy X LP. It is amazing. Just make Waka out to be the most horrendous, like, neo-Nazi white nationalist scumbag who just hates the Albed so much. But it is full of spoilers, especially for the end of the game. If you watch that video, go watch that montage. You can pretty much watch up to here, and the rest of it is just kind of standard from this point on. Because there aren't that many more opportunities for Waka to really flex his racism muscles.
Because of the given taboo on Machina, we're running around in the dark here. Ain't it a rush, kiddos?
I can't believe we're flying through the sky in this. A machina!
I love that the game has kind of introduced both Cid and airships in such a short span of time. The two big Final Fantasy staples, really. Cid, airships, Cactuars as well. Like, it's all just kind of coming to a head and really becoming its own Final Fantasy in this situation. Because everything up to now was just all pilgrimage and the faith and the hymns, and it didn't feel very Final Fantasy at points. It felt like its own thing.
Well, getting this airship was the first thing you did in this game.
Well, yeah, but at the time you don't recognise it as an airship. Least of all if you don't read the Albed text.
And it just looks like a massive rock.
Now let's have a few moral discussions with the other summoners who are also on this suicide mission. It really makes you question, like, why has Donna got this mean girl's kind of attitude where she's such a rivalry with Yuna for a mission that's going to involve one of them dying? Like, what is wrong with this horrible messed up culture that happens? I'm gonna kill myself for the good of our people. So much better than you are. I'm gonna be the best at doing that. Get on my level. It's so morbid, this game.
Well, well. It appears you too have escaped harm.
You were on the ship too?
I came to home to pick up some goods and found myself here. Quite the escape. Thankfully, my goods were spared. Please let me know if you need any of my wares.
Can I have all of the things, please? I would like all of the things.
Thank you.
Oh, your things are expensive, forget that.
Much appreciated. All proceeds will go to help restore home. Ah, how is your progress with our language?
This little extra bit of dialogue I've never gotten. I've never had enough primers to unlock this bit.
Hela du Sadwi.
Just repeating what I've said is not talking now. But your pronunciation's quite passable. You've been studying, I see.
If you complete the Albed primers and carry it over to this game, you can get the special item from him now.
Thank you.
What is it?
Patronage is very much.
Underdog Secret.
Oh really? I didn't know that! Oh, that's awesome! That's kind of like something from the second game where you can carry over into New Game Plus and get yourself the same thing, in fact, some Underdog Secrets.
You want to keep her safe, correct? Would you seek to stop her pilgrimage?
Of course! If she continues this fool pilgrimage, she will die. Sure as if you killed her yourself. No harebrained law or teaching can send my little niece to her death. When I save her, I'll make her give up being a summoner quicker than a desert melts ice.
Then this sort of introduces that whole other aspect of this, which is Yuna is choosing to do this. Will you deny her the right to, you know, go on this mission, to take this responsibility? And then you just get into like questions of like, it feels really heavy even saying this, like questions of like euthanasia, like when should someone have the right to kill themselves for the greater good, or if not for their own benefit? But like, oh god, it asks a lot of uncomfortable questions, this game, or at least makes you do it. And on that note, here's a conversation we almost missed, but I do want to, I did press you to engage on this one.
Look, I'm really tired. Leave me. If it's not an emergency, would you mind leaving?
Okay.
Wait. There's something I want to ask you.
Make up your mind.
What would you think if I said I was giving up my pilgrimage? Unusual. Most people would never forgive a summoner who quit.
I always go with that option because I know Donna is the cattiest character. She's the nastiest person. But now that you realise what she's doing to herself, despite the fact that she does have, you know, she is partnered with Bartello and they assumingly love each other quite a lot. Imagine what he's going to have to go through if she does succeed in her quest. There's a lot to take in here. Maybe it's kind of justified, Donna's behaviour up to now.
Thanks for the company. I feel
Maybe it's just kind of lashing out at the world that demands her death. And that also just begs the question of, like, how messed up is the celebrity culture? As well, the fact that these summoners are considered celebrities, and then after they die, they're hailed even more so as, like, with statues and such. It's so messed up. Sin is the worst. I'm calling it. That genocidal, that omnicidal giant whale is the worst.
First, we rescue Yuna. Let's show them what we got.
Vidran! Verfolgt Yuna!
Frana!
Effen Krufwi!
Yuna!
Oh no. The moment you see this, you're just like, oh no. This is the worst situation right now.
Well, they're getting married.
Exactly.
We didn't lie at all.
Well, yeah, exactly. Earlier in the game, I did say Yuna and Seymour would get married. I wasn't lying. I was right about that one.
Bevel's defenses are top-notch.
What's the matter, Gramps? You scared? Yuna's there, so we go and get her. And that's all.
You got guts? Carlo Inca du Bevel! Fim, kabat, iret!
Nunca!
It'll take a while to get to Bevel.
Everyone else is fine.
Yeah, you're the only one who completely ate shit there. You just were not prepared for that. And you're the one learning Al Bhed. For shame.
What's Seymour doing alive? Didn't we take care of him in Macalania?
He is dead as Jiskel was. His attachment to this world kept him from the next.
Zoink Scoob! The Pope is like a ghost!
I'm glad Yuna's okay and all, but what's with those fancy clothes?
It's called a wedding dress.
What?
Yuna must be trying to send him.
Wonder if that'll work.
Perhaps he won't expect it.
I love the camera just kind of panning left and right for these conversations. It's like, what have these guys got to say about this?
It's been 10 years.
I don't think it's a spoiler. Bevelle is where Auron came from. It's where Auron was born. And Yuna for that matter. So yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought it was a travelling warrior.
No, he used to be a before he was a travelling warrior. He used to live in Bevelle. He was a monk, remember?
We are being attacked from within.
And that's not a spoiler. That's explained in backstory. Yeah. That's why he knows Keenock. That's how he's buds with Keenock.
I am calm about most things.
Fiends! There's nothing to do but
destroy the ship and all go down together.
I love that that's what he was about to say, because how would that even work? We just used all of the ship's missiles on home. Would we then send out missiles to blow ourselves up and jump out of the ship before they hit us?
No, just crash the ship
I guess so.
into Bevelle.
That would be the worst. That would not solve any problems. That would just make more problems. Alright, well, moving on. There are now random encounters in the airship, so you've got to be prepared for those. Let's grab ourselves a few bits and bobs, or not do that. I'm teasing that quite often. Here we go. Moving on.
The thing I like most about this is they've put bombs in the ship.
Yeah, the enemies you run into are bomb enemies, which I guess is kind of clever. You know, it's very on the nose, debatably, but I kind of like that.
Now there's a rare sight.
Whoa, that's huge!
What is that?
The guardian worm, Evrae. The great sacred beast, protector of Bevelle.
The red carpet has teeth.
Is it red?
That means we're close to Bevelle.
Riku, you read me!
Isn't it like a yellowish colour? And I think it's like a yellowish colour, and its wings are just tinted.
He says it's a red carpet. It's...
I mean, that's just an expression. The red carpet, as in the welcome wagon, has teeth.
But it would make more sense if the actual enemy was red and then...
Look, Auron's quipping. Don't sit there and try and take down Auron's wonderful quips. That's all he has at this point.
It should be the colour of Bevelle.
The blue carpet, the slightly orangey yellow carpet has teeth is not a very good expression. Evrae is another one of those bosses that kind of serves as a meat gate for players who aren't training up as much as they should be. Because this boss can be pretty goddamn tough as well. So let's buy ourselves some stuff. And there's some pretty good stuff here. Oh, wait, no, we're selling. We're selling our stuff.
We gotta pay? If we lose, you'll die too, buddy.
I have faith in your victory.
Gee, thanks.
I kind of love that. It acknowledges that, why are you making us pay for things? If we die, you die. No, not enough RPGs question merchants on that one. Especially when in RPGs where the world knows that you're the legendary hero who has to take down the ultimate evil. Why would you charge them for anything? Surely you would just give them your stockpile of weapons and items in the hopes that you don't get murdered by Mr. Final Boss or whatever.
Or them.
Or just them, yeah. I like that the game has that moment of almost comedic self-awareness there. Of Rin saying, yeah, you'll be fine. I believe you guys are going to win, so I'm still going to charge you.
You'll have to tell me when to move!
So Evrae can be fought in two different ways. You can fight it from up close, which puts you at risk of poison attacks, or you can fight it from afar, which is debatably preferable simply because it allows you to hit Evrae with missiles. The only downside is if you're constantly far away, barely any of your attacks are actually going to connect, and Evrae is going to end up taking you out with aerial attacks, so you've got to make the informed decision of how you're going to do this. As you can see in the action bar on the top right, you can see Sid's gurning face, which gives you an idea of when the ship would move if you tell it to. And only Jecht and Riku can actually make the ship move. For some reason, Cid doesn't listen to anybody else. Which is a bit odd.
Probably because they don't know Al Bhed.
Neither does Jecht, he just yells it. He just yells in English.
But he's been trying.
Oh, right, so
for something.
it's kind of like when you go to a foreign country and you try and order food or something, but you just speak in English and they fob you off. But if you try to speak their language, even badly, then they'll respond to you in English and help you out.
Yeah.
Just out, you know, because you've made the effort. You've shown the common courtesy of trying.
It casts haste on itself at a certain percentage of health.
It does, yeah, so... No matter how much you haste your party members, you do have to be very vigilant with this fight. And,
Al Bhed potions are the most useful thing here.
yeah, Al Bhed potions are really great. Do you know what makes Evray really hard for a lot of people? I've just kind of realised. It's the first really hard boss that you have to fight without Yuna in your party. Because most bosses can be cheesed just by pulling out an Aeon and one hit killing them. But doing that means that Yuna monopolises the experience, everyone else gets shafted, and this part of the game becomes stupid hard.
If you just stack up your overdrives, this fight becomes really easy.
Yeah, you could do that as well. But even still, if your characters are all, you know, not properly trained, even that won't really get you through. I'm talking if you use Valifor, Ifrit, Ixion, Shiva, and all the gang for pretty much every fight, then yes, this is going to be absurdly hard for you.
I've done that, and I just trained in this place.
But that's just it, a lot of players wouldn't consider the need to do training around here. They would just look at this boss and think, surely there's a method to it, but, you know, the method is don't give you all of the experience ever, so you can actually fend it off for yourselves. Anyways, you can also blind Evray, which does help avoid the claw attacks for the most part.
Yeah, that animation told you to get away from it.
Yeah. And when he does that little roar, he's about to hit you with poison. Really, really hurts, does a ton of damage, and poison also sucks in this game. So you want to get away from Evray when it does that. There we go, so Evray, even just to show you, kind of blows his really powerful breath attack there. And then you have the option now, if you want, to either keep pelting him with stuff or fly back into him. If you stay back for long enough, once again, Cid will fire missiles at Evray, doing a bunch of damage to it, which is really helpful. Especially for those players who, as I've been saying, didn't train up enough. You've done just enough damage to start prompting the hastes now. So let's bust out the big magic. Bats are rad as hell. I love Thunderga. I love it in pretty much any Final Fantasy, but here it's particularly great. And here's the aerial attack that happens if you stay back too long. Not too much damage really. So it just kind of eggs you on to move further back if he starts readying his breath again. I love this moment. Slow down. Fuck you. Speed up. It just immediately undoes what you just did. It's like, how dare you?
If you had Reflect, you could use Reflect on him.
But you know what, this method works a little better. Just hit the fucker until it's dead. How dare you deny my slow attack? That's what you get. Alrighty, so down goes Evray. And now it's time for what is probably one of the best scenes in this entire game. I'm going to say that a lot for this part of the game. This next scene owns.